Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. Host Kelly Brickle is a psychic medium, numerologist, healer, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there is always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour, Kelly Brickle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My internet is a little funny today, but that is good times. Hello. So, welcome to the Psychic Hour. I am Kelly Brickle, and we have the wonderful astrologist on today. And we will be diving into all things astrology, intuition, psychic mediumship, healing, and whatever your questions that come up along the way. So hello. Thank you for joining me. And I'm going to have everybody just come on in as they do. We always start with the topic of the day. And today it's about tribe, tribal connection, group healing, the connection of family and friendship that appears in one's life and what it does. Hello. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to say hello as people are coming on in. Hello, Jennifer McCormick. Hello, Catherine Johnson. Hello. So when we are in life, there is tremendous motivation that comes from the self when we are actualizing. Ultimately, it's what do you want? What makes you happy? And if you're living your life and walking your path, you are doing it from a place of what you're finding out from yourself or what you truly want or what you truly need. Maybe the inspiration helped from your support system. Maybe the support from love around you helped guide you to the path. Maybe you did it alone. We all come into this world differently, and we have the people around us show up for us differently. But we are in human bodies. We do have a human lifestyle, a human society. We have an ancestral line. We have ancestral DNA. So how the energy moves from our parents and our grandparents backwards, then all the way to us. So many generations. Great, right? 5 generations back, 10 generations back. Who knows how far it goes? It affects us in the way that which we show up, or we have to learn to show up for ourselves. So when we do have some type of support, it could be a cousin, it could be a brother, a sister, or it could be even friends that act as surrogates for us to play out those roles. Our nervous system does change. Our brain patterns do change. Our stress levels do change. There's scientific evidence with the way that we act and our neurochemistry is. So there's the spiritual aspect of when we are supported, when we are united, the synergy of it, the power of alchemy when multiple thoughts are together. When it is more than just one, that is powerful within itself, but there's a physical nature to it and a mental and psychological nature to being not alone. And I think it's important to talk about because we come to the spiritual path and there are aspects in which we must walk alone in. We must find what happens when the lights go out and we are wandering in the dark, and we are, lights. You could say we are life force energy. And so we do have to feel what it feels like to all of a sudden go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm so certain of this. And I'm in a facet within my life where the people around me can't give me the type of assurance that maybe I classically had or needed to function. So there's a moment in everybody's spiritual journey where they do feel alone in different aspects, in different times. And then there's a moment where you do get to find your tribe, and your tribe might change. Your tribe might be different at the beginning of your spiritual journey versus the middle or the end. You might have a couple people hop tribes with you. The whole reason, a season, a lifetime mentality. But like it or not, we're not doing this alone in all the facets and pockets. If you are, a traveling medium, people are showing up in your audience. If you are a teacher, people are showing up in your classes. If you are a speaker, someone had to facilitate the space which you are operating from, holding space for you even to arrive. And whether those connections are fleeting or more ongoing, we all have a part to play. You might visit a friend in a different state, and lo and behold, maybe there's a shop nearby, and you go, oh gosh, I have, an option to do work as I visit, to expand myself beyond my normal means. And it just depends on what you want to do with your life. I just am giving it in a lens of an intuitive, and if they went into like maybe doing more professional work, but you can apply this to any area within your life. How are you supported? Maybe you feel it's different personally versus professionally. Maybe you think it's a different health-wise, even with your own body. How does your own body support you to get out the door in the morning? All these different areas. your biomicrome better be on your side of the tribe. That's a different story. But we all come into different times and places where we go, yeah, I'm working on that too. Or, wow, you are a great mirror for me to understand myself. Or I'm a great mirror for you to understand yourself. I want to evolve like this. It seems like you do too. And we exponentially grow. We always grow, I believe, faster and more efficiently when other people are involved. When connecting to earthly things. So spiritual things, it can be a little different. But if you're like, I want to be a doctor, well, if you know other doctors, connections, life experience, just the sharing of, please do that. If you're looking into this, talk to this person. I'm telling you, if you meet a like-minded person, if you're studying to be a psychic medium, if you go get a mentor or a teacher, the doors that will open for you, if you're looking for doors to open, completely different ball game with how fast you can get off the ground if you are truly committed. We all synergistically fuse our consciousness together. So I'm saying this from a body level with how we are psychologically supported, and our DNA expresses ourselves through the choices that we make, and affects our body and our health, as well as emotionally how we feel, mentally how we focus, and the energy that's returned back to us. Synergistically, we can get way more done than we ever can get done alone here on Earth with what we are looking to do. Spiritually, even, it is definitely always something to talk about. So find your tribe, or call it to the universe for your tribe to come to you. And if not your tribe, just look into more supporting others and finding others that support you, and beautiful things happen. Just Number one thing, feel and watch how your energy starts to express itself around the day. You might sit up taller. You might smile more. Other funny things might happen. Your skin might glow. When we are supported and we have less stress in our life, life does feel different. So, in the nod to that, thank you everybody for coming on in. And please, we're going to bring in Danny in just a second. So have some questions and enjoy and join the conversation. Hello, Brian. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, multiple Jennifers. Hello, Jennifer McCormick. Catherine, Jennifer Rose. Hello, Glenda. Welcome. Hello. And I'm going to send out some love to. Hello, Ashraf. All right, everybody. Without further ado, let's bring in Danny. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Kelly. Hi, everyone.
Hello. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing so good. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. I would love to definitely dive into astrology, but you are so much more than an astrologist and a healer. You're a medium too. You're a musician. You're a singer. You're a plant medicine facilitator. And I'm probably not listing just everything that you do. I know I'm not. Actually, I know more about you. So my goodness, welcome.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, what a pleasure and an honor to be here on the Psychic Hour.
Absolutely. And everyone's coming in saying hi. So Rosie's saying hi. Jennifer Rose, Sue. Hello,
Hi,
everybody.
everyone. Hi, Rosie. Rosie says, wow.
We'll take a wow.
Yeah, we'll take
Definitely.
a wow.
So, wow, double wow. We love that for us, right? We were saying that before. We welcome in the good vibes. For everybody who is first learning about Danny or already knows him, Danny Santos is the visionary healer and astrologer behind Santos and the Crystal Visions, where ancient wisdom meets modern spiritual practice. With over 20 years of experience in astrology, Santos offers transformative birth chart readings, spiritual life coaching, and shamanic healing infused with compassion, playfulness, and deep intuitive magic. Welcome.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's very exciting to get to be here with you today, Kelly. And we've been connected for quite some time now, and I finally get to be on your show.
That's right. And there's a lot to get into. I mean, you've been in spirituality for over 20 years, you said, just practicing, being curious. It's been a part of your life. So I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. It's kind of like, if anyone's seen the movie Harry Potter or read the books, how Harry grew up in a very muggle world. I would describe that as my childhood. I was born to two parents who are Virgos, and they are both medical doctors and not very magical, particularly in terms of spirituality, mediumship, astrology. So I had a very interesting upbringing, and yet I still found my way to the magical arts.
Absolutely. So when you were a kid, was there talk about imagination or like healing? Was it religious? What kind of things were you told learning about the world?
So I did grow up in a religious environment. I grew up Catholic, and I went to Catholic school. And no negative energy to anybody who is Catholic, but I found that religion to be quite painful to grow up in because of the amount of shame and prejudice that goes into those teachings and that doctrine. I was taught that astrology and tarot cards were going to send you to hell. I was taught that if you're gay, which I do identify as a gay man, that's also, something that can really activate some negative energy. So So what I'm trying to do with my own organization, Santos and the Crystal Visions, is to create an inclusive environment where everyone is allowed to be whoever they are, as long as they're not hurting themselves or anybody else, and that spirituality is for everyone. You know, it's meant to be shared with everyone freely.
I do think it's so important to have an inclusive environment because everybody feels, I think, awkward when they are being cracked open. And the work is supposed to be a little bit exposure like because you have to be vulnerable, empathic. There's so many crossovers with your stuff mixing with other people's stuff in order for you to go, yeah, I'm being empathic right now. This is how I'm connecting and I know what I'm talking about. It's rough. And I do think there's a lot of young people going through changes that need support.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is I didn't even know that I was a medium until maybe a year and a half ago.
Wow.
So I have a mentor named Damona Hoffman, and Damona signed me up for classes with Colby Rebel. She gifted them to me for my birthday last February. And from taking those classes with Colby, it was like the mediumship was waiting for me all along. It was right there on the tip of my tongue. So it's just very interesting to see how that that was a gift that I had my entire life, that it's as if the outlet was here and I just needed somebody to plug it in.
That makes sense if it's all ready to go. So if I may ask, what was your first mediumship experience when you weren't sure if it was real? And what was your first mediumship experience when you were learning it was real?
Well, for me, mediumship, I didn't ever see spirit or anything like that as a child. What would happen for me initially was I remember in elementary school, like being in class and then just completely dissociating.
Mm-hmm.
As if I was traveling to like another world. I remember being in outer space and being with the stars and flying and, you know, doing whatever, just in a completely different dimension. And then, you know, years later, I would be doing tarot readings and start actually really connecting with spirit in a very interesting way. So that was always like super fascinating to me. I was like, oh my God, like a lot of the stuff that, not a lot of it, but the stuff that I predict comes true.
Yeah,
You
I mean, because there's the imaginative element where you're interacting with pictures or feelings or sounds, and a lot of times it's like, well, ain't that interesting? But then you actually understand that that information has value outside of your head and has reality outside of your head. So when you learn that, were you like, what is going on? Or like, this is great.
I think I was just like, I'm a Pisces with a moon and a Mercury in Pisces. I think I was just like, wow, this is interesting. Like, you know, I just kind of went with it. And then, you know, when I started taking classes with Colby, she had us do platform mediumship just as an exercise. And that's the kind of mediumship that I love and I feed off of the most. I feel like I really have my most powerful ability to read is with platform. And she had us do the exercise where you stand in front of an audience and you see a bunch of images. And it was like so undeniably clear that spirit was delivering me a message and like showing me how to do it. And I just was like, oh, whoa, this is real.
Yes.
Like this is real, beyond real.
There's an independent force that is interacting with you, where you're like, now it's beyond my imagination. So I'm guessing when you were on platform, you were directed to say things, and it was like they just gave you like a chain reaction of now say this, now describe this.
Yeah, it's like I remember the first platform reading that I had ever done. The spirit was showing me a rose, and then I saw a van, and then I saw a turkey. And then I was like, okay. I said that, and like three people in the room could take it. So I was like, okay, well, let's narrow this down. And eventually it was that the woman's grandmother was named Rose. The last time they saw her grandmother was when they were delivering her Thanksgiving from a truck. They drove it in a truck. So that was like so spot on. And then like the messages of validation were coming through, and I was just like, I can't even believe this is real. Like the fact that mediumship is actually a real thing, and then to have had so many experiences since then of like with great evidence. And there's a clip of me online talking about this woman who had a friend who they used to joke that if they ever made a motorcycle club, it would be like the Stingray Motorcycle Club. So before she validated that for me, I was like, I'm seeing a Stingray in a motorcycle. And
Yeah.
her jaw dropped, and she's like, oh my God. And then she said the only reason that we wanted to joke about that was because we had just learned about Steve Irwin's death. And we said like, oh yeah, the only person to take out Steve Irwin was a Stingray. That's badass. We want to have a Stingray motorcycle club,
That
So
would make a point. It really would.
so it's just the thing with evidence and doing mediumship. It's super fun, first of all, but just to see like it, I still am beside myself. Like I still can't believe that this stuff is real and that I can do it nonetheless. Oh, can you hear me, Kelly? Looks like Kelly might have frozen there, everybody. If you guys are still here in the comments, please just let me know that you can hear me. Hopefully that's not my internet. But like I said, I do platform mediumship. I'm a trained ayahuasca shaman. I studied through the Shipibo Tribe in Peru. And so this has been an incredible experience for me to learn about spirituality. All right, Rosie says she can still hear me. Basically, I went and I lived with an indigenous tribe for 2 months in the summer of 2023. And I fasted for a total of 44 days and was given the blessing from the indigenous Shipibo tribe to be able to serve their plant medicine. So it was an incredible experience. And now I'm a trained ayahuasca shaman. I have my own spiritual faith-based organization where I walk people through the 12-step program while teaching them about the 12 signs of the zodiac, and then using astrology as a super awesome tool to just put everything together. So Kelly said she's had internet issues. Yeah, so we're going to wait for her to come back, but I can answer your questions, anybody who's interested. I'm actually going to be volunteering with a church called the Hummingbird Church tonight, so I'm going to be helping facilitate one of their ayahuasca ceremonies. They have oh, Miss Surrey is here. Hi, Surrey. It's so good to see you, dear. I'm just talking about working with plant medicine and ayahuasca and all of that. Miss Kelly has returned.
Oh my goodness.
I was talking about ayahuasca while you were gone.
So Danny, this is the first time my computer ever kicked me off while I'm actually live. I noticed that there was some internet stuff going on, but I thought I prepared for it enough. So I'm not going to use this computer anymore. Sure. There we go. It's some heads up though. I can't hear you. There's some weird technical difficulties going on. Let me see if I can fix that really quick. I'm going to pop you up on screen for a second. All right.
All right. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. So I'm going to just answer Kelly Ann Washina's question. What do you think about the transhuman movement? So as a gay man myself, trans people are part of the LGBTQ community. And I believe that some people are born maybe in the wrong body, or they have the feeling that they want to be a different gender. And I think that's okay. I actually have my own podcast called the Astro Daddy Podcast, where I interview queer people about their near-death experiences as a way of trying to bring validation to the fact that God does not hate gay people. So I interviewed a woman named Kaylee Sweeney. She's a trans woman, and she said she went to the other side, met God, met the universe, all of that, and that God had no problem with it. A big thing that I think is important is that we have compassion over comprehension. So just as Kelly says, God loves all people. So I think that includes trans people, that includes people of color, that includes people that do bad things, that includes people who do good things. I think at the end of the day, we come here on earth to learn and to have an experience.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can. Okay.
Yes, although I can also hear
Is
myself
there
talking in the.
echo?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I can hear myself. Rosie says someone in
Okay.
my family is
How
trans.
about this? I can kind of make out weird. It's going to come back. My computer's doing something very, very, very silly right now, which has never happened on the live. But I can kind of say tell what you're saying. So if I may, just work with me for a second. Can you let me know about your shamanism background and how you got into it?
Sure. So I was telling the people while you had logged off that I lived with the Shipibo Tribe, but even before then, I had heard about ayahuasca probably 10 years before I had ever done it. And I was really curious about it and wanting to learn more about it. And eventually, I had the opportunity to try ayahuasca for the first time. So I was working at a documentary film production company, and the woman in the finance department said, "Hey, I just did ayahuasca this weekend." And I said, "Oh my God, I want the contact. I've been dying to try it." And what ended up happening was I did that first ayahuasca ceremony. I think it was April of 2019. And then I just really put pedal to the metal and trained to become an ayahuasca shaman. Like I poured everything that I had into it. And in the summer of 2023, I was given the blessing from the indigenous Shipibo tribe to begin serving their medicine. Ariel says, "I love your shirt. Thank you, dear." And from there, I've learned a lot about how you can use ayahuasca and psychedelics in general for really profound trauma healing tools, and to help people ascend to new heights, new vibrations, break through old patterns and old ways of being. It's an incredible medicine. Can you hear me okay, Kelly?
I want to know then, how did you find out you wanted to go deeper with the next step?
Like with ayahuasca? Oh, can you hear me? All right, well, I'm hoping that you can hear me. So I wanted to go deeper studying ayahuasca shamanism because I had a really great teacher, and she just was incredibly skilled with serving and doing the shamanic part of it. The thing about ayahuasca shamanism is it's like being a wizard, you know? Like you can use magic and kind of you can heal people using the ayahuasca in a way that you might not otherwise get to see or visualize. Now, I've gotten to the point where with ayahuasca and with the medicine and all of that, like you don't need the ayahuasca in order to heal people. You can actually heal people using things like Reiki, chanting, you know, the astrology 12-step work that I was talking about. But ayahuasca is an incredible tool if you want to see the other side, get the psychedelic effect. But I think ultimately the plant is a teacher. You know, we don't need the ayahuasca in order for us to ascend. You know, it's more like we have the capability within ourselves, and the ayahuasca can teach us or show us that we have that ability. You know, like you being a medium, Kelly, like you don't need psychedelics in order to connect with spirit.
No, and I can hear you now again. So hooray, I'm back.
Yay.
Thank you for working with me, Danny. I think that there are, how can you put it? There's a phrase that like all roads lead to Rome, or all religions are of the same path. And I just think like energy is energy. And sure, there are certain ways to do it that I think you could argue are more quicker than others, right?
Yeah.
It's just the sheer nature of how you go about things, or maybe something's more feeling based, or something's more healing based, where you have to do more work to feel through the feelings rather than just be aware of them. There's so many ways to connect, absolutely, and you don't need one way, but that one way is perfect for somebody to learn what they need to learn.
Absolutely. You know, so what I like about my work is that I found a way to kind of bring all of the different things together: mediumship, astrology, tarot, plant medicine, sound healing, teaching. it all goes together.
It does. It does. It does. What are your favorite elements that you've been combining?
Ooh. Well, I think I mentioned this earlier. I do a spiritual life coaching program where I teach people the 12 signs of the zodiac while also walking them through the 12-step program. So whatever somebody wants to try to recover, whether that's, heartbreak, or they're struggling with an addiction, or there's something they're having a hard time with, the 12-step program is an amazing way to heal anything. And then we make it more fun by teaching astrology. So another big favorite of mine. Oh, Ariel's saying she loves my Instagram. Let me put it in the comments there.
Yeah,
So
shout
I'm
out.
Astro Daddy.
We'll be putting
I'm
some
Astro
of
Daddy Podcast.
Danny's social media. If you are connecting with YouTube or Facebook, just look within the descriptions. It has all of Danny's links if you want to connect to him further. And then we'll be running a banner too. So, and Danny is definitely easier for anyone who wants to connect with him at Santos Crystal Visions.
Yeah.
And Astro Daddy with
That's
YouTube.
Right.
The creator of the 12-step program, he was a spiritualist. He was a medium, and he would hold actually seances for other mediums at his house.
What?
Yes.
Bill? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He also did
Gosh, I should know his name.
He was really into LSD.
Well, he did a lot of different like self-discovery and pushing the limits and philosophical writing and yes. So there's a lot more to his story so I'm not an expert. I don't completely know, but there's a lot of people who teach about spiritualism. He is one of the names that is frequently referenced. The creator of the 12-step AA. He was a spiritualist. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, look into it. Yeah, because
there's a whole secret
he's
side
one of they'll reference some of the surprising names. Yeah, well, a lot of people in aristocratic society in England, they had ties to people with spiritualism and the occult, and so they would, depending on what groups were circulating that they were a part of, they would dip in one way versus another way more so. Some people did healing work and astrology work, and some people did more mediumship work, and then some people did who knows what, right? But Sir Arthur Conan Doyle of England, spiritualist, medium. Wow. And was a protector of mediums. He actually created a law for mediumship in England to be protected.
No way.
That's really cool. It's a whole thing. We can go into it, but it's a whole thing. But yeah, to protect mediums from being prosecuted, yeah, or even killed because they were getting abused. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
So it is. Yeah, I know. A lot more people. I think that's the thing. A lot of this work's coming to light, and it used to be underground societies and gakis, they would call them in Japan, mystery schools of different names. So I think we've acted like this hasn't been a part of our life, like mysticism or plant medicine hasn't been a part of our life, and really people have been doing it for thousands and thousands of years.
What they told me when I was in Peru studying with the indigenous tribe, there was obviously the tribe and then some of the facilitators on the course that I took to get the ayahuasca training. They told us that in Western society they're farming all of the magic that we have, and the idea that magic exists and is real is not something that exists in Western spaces anymore. It's really a big challenge. It's a big thing that we are constantly brushed up against, that we shouldn't believe in magic and all the technology and the television and the radio and the Instagram, and it separates us from the earth, which itself is a magical organism. It's a creature living.
Absolutely. And they used to talk about like the aether, like the ether, the aether. That was an element of itself, and they would liken that to magic. So there was fire, water, air, earth, and then the aether.
Mm.
You know, and that was also linked to like plasma, and it was that was the life force energy, and that was the energy that could generate more, or conduct, or gather. And so I just, we're magical beings. Like, just the human body and the amount of energy it can just generate, and how we can like heal. We can literally heal, even though sometimes the body's sluggish, like that we can heal from cuts, wounds, that our body can repair after it's been through so much. We
It is
are
pretty
magical.
amazing.
Yeah. We're not like worms or certain lizards where we can completely regrow limbs
Regenerate. Starfish.
Starfish. But nature is magical. We are magical. Absolutely.
Amen. You know, and the Shipibo tribe also teaches like nature is talking to us. It's in communication with us. When I went down there and was doing ayahuasca, I had like conversations with many elemental spirits. I remember the spirit of ginger came to me at one point.
From wait, not
Like,
from Gilligan's Island ginger.
no, like ginger descended, and it was like, use me. The root ginger.
I was gonna say the root. Okay, the root.
Use
That's
me.
fantastic. I'm drinking ginger right now, so
I
if
had
you're
ginger
here,
in my lunch.
hey, there's the spirit of ginger. Then it is real.
Yeah. Well, and that spirit has been coming back around for me lately, and ginger can be used to ward off evil spirits and negativity. It's good for your digestion. It can help clear your mind. So it's a beautiful elemental, or well, not elemental. It's a beautiful plant medicine.
You're actually saying something I think really profound, because a lot of people talk about ayahuasca or other plant medicines, and those are sacred. They are, and there's history and how people
And
have used them.
lineage. Yeah.
Yes, but then also you're bringing up something fascinating to think about. Like you said, ginger, the energy, the spirit of ginger, the consciousness of ginger came to you. So just like
Yes.
ayahuasca, ginger or other herbs can
Yes.
talk to me about that. I want to know your perspective.
Well, they had a whole like lecture on this in the school that I went to as well, or not this specifically, but just talking about like household things that are healing that you probably already have in your pantry. And what's interesting is like, first of all, we can all agree that we are all one. So if you can have mediumship visions from ancestors on the other side, there's that. If you can have ayahuasca and that spirit visit you while you drink it, there's that. So why would it be any different from going outside and picking a dandelion and connecting with the spirit of the dandelion, or putting ginger in your food, or if you're like me and you eat meat, you know, the spirit of that animal, you are consuming that animal, and it's important to, you know, say great gratitude towards it. But
Right.
everything, or even like wearing a crystal necklace, like this has a frequency and a vibration. It's just that crystal could be just as potent as ayahuasca. It's really about how engaged you are with it. Everything is alive, so we might
So
as well be in conversation with it.
I agree. I think we need to listen and speak truly more, and to unexpected places and sources that are benevolent, that are here to help. If I may ask, so because I'm definitely not an expert in ayahuasca or plant medicines, um, I've heard you talk about, or other people talk about, sometimes plant medicine is the energy of the land. So that's what I wondered, like, oh, like ayahuasca is just like a potent, like, portal, like cultivating the energy, or a healing source of the land, or something else is happening through this conduit. But you're saying too as well, like just like ginger, or like, you know lemongrass, even, or a cow or a chicken, they are
Four-leaf clover, a
cultivating,
tree,
or a tree, right? So it's like, why? So if I may ask, I mean, of course there's like, psychedelic properties, as well as like scientific reasons why one thing's more potent than the other, but like, from a spiritual sense, like, why ayahuasca versus ginger? I'm just curious from that. Like, I know it's a weird question, but I'm curious what comes up with it.
Okay, so in my program, 12 Steps, 12 Signs, An Astrologer's Guide to Recovery, I teach people the 12-step program while teaching them the 12 signs of the zodiac. So, step 2 in the 12-step program is came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So, that's literally what it is. The sign that goes with step 2 is Taurus, because it's the second sign of the zodiac. So, the virtue is acceptance. So one of the things that I teach people when talking about Taurus is you would never ask a lemon tree, why aren't you a rosemary bush? You have to know what the thing does. If you came to
I might
believe,
ask it.
well, I mean,
just for fun, but no,
yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with
Well,
you.
and if you do ask the lemon tree, why aren't you a rosemary bush? What is the lemon tree going to say to you?
As if,
Yeah. I mean, it's got its own personality and its own spirit. So
Definitely, they're gonna just be like, whatever.
yeah,
I'm gonna
like
do me.
girl, I'm not asking you why you're not like from Mars. But the idea is came to believe that a power greater than yourself could restore you to sanity. That's step 2. Well, you better know what the power is and what it does. So if you're feeling really sick and you're trying to eat ginger as a way of settling your stomach, that's because you understand the nature of ginger. And nature is the god of Taurus, or step 2. Nature. Tauruses believe that God is nature. So that includes Mother Nature, but also human nature, or the nature or the property of something. So ginger's property, its nature, has a lot to do with healing the gut. It's good for the stomach. It's good for the microbiome. It's building something. It also is great for the lungs. So when we think about like vodka, you're not going to drink vodka if you're trying to cure a stomach problem. That's against its nature.
I've heard people say vodka for everything, but
Well, actually,
I'm being facetious with you, but you're right. You wouldn't do that. You would
but
not.
actually, if you understand the nature of vodka, if somebody has a hangover, they do recommend having a Bloody Mary the next day. So but you have to understand the nature of what you're doing.
That's well
So
said. Well said.
so the idea of like ayahuasca versus ginger, you have to first understand what is the goal, and that's what step 1 is, or that's what the zodiac sign Aries is. What is the goal? What am I trying to do? Step 2 is, all right, what can I accept that's going to help me move in that direction? And then step 3 is, all right, I'm surrendering this to that, whatever that thing is. I'm surrendering my sickness to this ginger in hopes that it's going to help me feel better.
Definitely. Yeah. I love that. So you're utilizing both, like the masculine and feminine nature of like you claim, or you seize, what you need with yourself, and then you trust and you allow. You did the work, now allow and trust and learn.
Absolutely. So
What are some of your favorite plant medicines then that you've
ooh.
have helped?
Well, I really love rosemary. Rosemary is great for boundaries and protection. I like drinking it in tea form as a tincture. I like cooking with it. Um, I like lighting it and using it to smudge. It's a beautiful medicine, and it has the frequency of the zodiac sign Leo.
Wow. Wow. Tell me about that.
Well, think about the way that rosemary looks. It kind of looks like furry. It has a little bit of like a lion mane about it. And it's connected to the solar plexus chakra. So it has this quality of protecting the ego, expanding the ego, growing the ego. Um, I just really like it. I've worked with it extensively in my plant medicine practice. Let me
With,
think. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, with what I know of rosemary, it's great for memory, and
Oh,
also it boosts hair growth.
there's our Leo.
There you go. It grows your mane. Beautiful. Um, Absolutely. Yeah. Like if you smell rosemary or if you infuse it in the air, like there's different ways you could do that. And if you smell it, you have better memory retention for learning. So it was better when people were taking tests. Um, they saw like a difference. I think it was something like 20% like better memory retention. It was some crazy
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
But rosemary is powerful. Like what things have you seen with rosemary as well with healing for yourself?
Boundaries. I
Trees.
know a couple rosemary spells, so
Ooh.
I'm gonna keep those to myself if you want to come to me as a student and
you're,
learn. But
you're an alchemist. He's an
yeah,
alchemist. He's many
um,
things.
Jennifer has a beautiful question here. Can you tell us a plant for each sign? Pretty please, Danny.
I'm getting all. Oh, cool. Evelyn was talking about it's been helpful with
Yeah,
Alzheimer's.
I saw that. Very
Oh,
cool,
beautiful.
Evelyn.
Oh,
Um, all right, let's
rose.
see.
Yes.
For each of the signs of the zodiac, anything that has spikes is going to be very Aries like. We have to just get this out of the way. The rose belongs to every single sign of the zodiac.
Mm.
There's no one sign that can't identify with the rose. However, it is one of the signature plants for Taurus and for Leo as well.
Mhm.
And the white rose is very, or the white and the yellow roses are also very Aquarius. The blue rose, which doesn't exist, is very Pisces. So, but the rose just goes for all plants. Um, with Aries, we can see like a lot of more masculine things like black pepper, um, very earthy, very strong, pungent, and again, anything that's got like needles or thorns or that kind of thing, that's going to be a very Aries medicine. What is that called? Nettles. Nettles are
Mm.
very Aries. Whereas Taurus,
Sticky petals.
there you go. Taurus is going to be more along the lines of things that involve beauty, sensuality, pleasure. So we can think about for Taurus like roses and peonies and like very pretty floral pinks,
What
greens,
cardamom? With that?
cardamom. Oh, yes. Bougainvillea,
Ooh.
very, very Taurus. Then we get to Gemini, and we're talking about like more cerebral energy. So Gemini might enjoy plants that are more involved with the mind. I'm trying to think of like some of the plant medicines for Gemini.
Lion's mane, but that might be Leo too. But lion's mane's
Lion's
pretty.
mane does belong to Leo, actually.
Yeah, like
So
Herca. I'm thinking about the
yeah.
whole Latin name. Um, but
Oh, for Gemini, we can think of some of the plants that are like pseudo poisonous.
pseudopoisonous.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yes.
lily of the valley, I believe, is poisonous.
I believe you're right. I
You
believe
know,
you're right. I'm trying to think of.
so it's an interesting thing when we're working with Gemini energy. It's the more mental
Like
stuff.
Bacopa.
Yeah. I could see a little bit of that going on there. Um, Mercury, the more mercurial, anything that has the connotation of like swords and cuts and slices and, very
I'm thinking
chivalrous.
about like calming things. So I'm thinking about like L-theanine. I'm thinking about the
Oh,
bacopa.
yeah.
It's like sharp. What can help you? I'm trying to think in nature, like what helps you like
Sharpen your mind. So
definitely natural caffeine.
yeah. Caffeine. Actually, that's a good point. Stimulants are very Gemini. Caffeine would probably belong to Gemini.
Like teas, certain like black
Yes.
teas, green teas.
Yes. Whereas then we get to Cancer, and we're starting to think about plants that are active at night. So I know there's some plants that bloom at night or bloom under the moon. Things like moonstone go with Cancer, obviously. Pearls are very Cancerian. These aren't plants, but they're things, or putting out moon water. There's a plant medicine called Bobinsana. Bobinsana, which
familiar, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Bobinsana goes with Aries and Cancer and Leo. It's just all over the place, and maybe Pisces. So, whereas we go to Leo and we're starting to think about things like rosemary, citrus fruits, grapefruits, lemons, limes, all of that kind of stuff. Very Leo, very strong, pungent flavors.
What are like the chilies? What are they associated with?
Oh, Aries. Very Aries. Although if you get a chili that's like a little spicy, but you don't see it coming, that could be very Sagittarian.
That makes sense.
Then we go to Virgo, and we're going to get things like basil, mint, these more cleansing properties, more cleansing flavors. I think even like maybe cucumber.
Wow.
Just like very fresh. It's got to be like easy to digest and very fresh. And then we go to Libra, and it's similar to Taurus, where we're getting our florals and our Venusian, things. Any bouquet of flowers, any combination of flowers, anything with pink or it has a sweet smell, honeysuckle, maybe jasmine. It's more like Libran. And then ayahuasca is a Scorpio.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that makes sense.
Without a doubt, ayahuasca is going to be that underworld kind of medicine. And then we go to Sagittarius, and we think about mushrooms. That is like Sagittarius's jam, expanding your mind, opening the way that you perceive things.
Wow.
And then Capricorn would be things like patchouli, or anything.
Really?
That
makes sense, I guess.
Strong protections for like underworld kind of energies. Capricorn's a hard one. You can also think of like succulents, cactuses, succulents, things that have like a lot of endurance. That is like very Capricorn. And then Aquarius, there's what's known as the Tree of Enlightenment. We actually sat with that in Peru. But the Tree of Enlightenment, or like wise trees. Oak could also be Capricorn Sagittarius. It's kind of towing the line. Sage is also a Capricorn Sagittarius line tower. And then Pisces, we're going to see things like blue lotus. Aquarius also gets lavender, purple flowers. So
blue, anything hallucinogenic for
Pisces. Yeah, like the psychedelic for the Pisces. But I mean, that's just like a quick overview. We took a little moment here, I guess, to go over all of that.
It's interesting to think about, though. It really is. I think you can better understand your craft or your passions when you have an overlay with another system. Like colors can break down into elements or numbers or vice versa, astrology, numerology. There's all these crossovers, and I think it's important to play around with that.
Yeah, I would agree. And somebody's asking about gladiolas. I just looked them up and I saw that they're purple, so maybe that would fall under Aquarius, but I'd need to learn more about the property of the plant and what it does.
They're Lynn, are you familiar with Lynn Juno?
Yes.
Yes, so she does she does color readings with like the ribbons, the ribbon readings. She does billet readings, and then she does crystal and flower readings.
Cool.
And like she teaches kind of the background, because the spiritualist churches would let you do ribbon readings and flowers for church stems.
Cool.
Those were the only two things besides straight mediumship if you were in a church. And because there was like a whole language of flowers, and it was within society of they were vehicles of messages. I can't talk today. Vehicles of messages. Messages. That's what I'm trying to say. Your vehicles of messages, and like you would put a certain flower on your lapel, like a man or a woman, and so the color or the type of flower would indicate, are you interested, or are you a friend or romantic interest, different levels, or what kind of person you were. It's just very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But yeah, gladiolas, they're very beautiful flowers.
Yeah, I Googled them while we were on the call just to take a look.
Beautiful. All colors. Where did all colors? All colors. Gladiolas, I know, are multiple colors. I don't know about all the colors, but all the colors, I will welcome all the colors. Evelyn said, I heard they're protective. There's like a crossover meeting with like gladiators and gladiolas.
Oh.
There's
so
like
maybe a little Gemini or a little Aries.
Definitely.
That is interesting.
Definitely. But she's saying glads come in all colors. Okay, that makes sense. And then Ariel is saying, I'm a Scorpio, and that makes so much sense.
About ayahuasca.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jennifer is saying cinnamon, clove, and turmeric. Are those the ones that you like, Jennifer? Because she was talking about she's connected to Taurus, and those are some of, I guess, the ones she was asking about. So cinnamon, how would you categorize cinnamon, clove, and turmeric?
Well, those are strong like flavors. So I could see that belonging to Taurus, although cinnamon makes me think Gemini. Actually, no, cinnamon makes me think Aries because it's spicy.
It's spicy.
So those I feel like everything she just listed is Aries medicines. I think it goes to that sign.
Did you ever have like a warm cup of canela growing up?
Oh my God, of course.
So good. Cinnamon tea, so good. It's making me want some right now.
I know. As soon as we get off here, I'm going to make myself some ginger.
I've been unfortunately been clanking it as I've been drinking it, but I have maple syrup and ginger in here.
Yum.
A little bit of Himalayan sea salt, and it is awesome. It is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
We had a lot of people saying hello earlier, and I was getting up to date with the comments. So Sylvester came in and said hello. Hello, Sylvester. And Colin Walker. Hello. And gosh, so many others. Hello, Connors. Hello, Amy. Me and my shadow. And forgive me if I'm missing anyone up top. I'm just doing some of the later ones. I think Michael Christopher was here for a moment. I'm not sure. A Taurus girl reads. I like that. That's a fun name.
Yeah, it is.
Hello, Keith. Hello. Hello, Glenda. Thank you, everybody, for coming in to say hello. Hello, Vivian. Welcome, Vivian. And Ronan, hello. And Mello. Okay. So, gosh, plant medicine. What have you been finding within the energy of mediumship that you've been taught? Because you said, like, hey, you don't need any of these. We have earth body. Oh, Suri was in here earlier. I want to say hello to Suri. She was up top. Hey, Suri Sawyer. But we don't need, we don't need plant medicine, even though it's beautiful, to make us have energetic experiences. So what has been, I guess, the contrast with you as a medium and a psychic versus the plant medicine knowledge?
Yeah, I think one of those contrasts is that I am much more connected than I realized. And whether I'm on the medicine or off, that energy, that through line, that connection sticks with you. So the ayahuasca has certainly opened up my ability to have visions and to perceive things and to feel and see things. And the plant medicine, the ayahuasca versus the mediumship is so much stronger. I'm guessing because I've done ayahuasca so much, but who knows? If I was astral projecting as a kid, I guess for me it's just kind of the same frequency. And I even do exorcisms, so it's just
Not with the shamanism background,
yeah,
or
with the training that I had there, and also I had some training when I lived in Michigan as well.
yeah,
So
different like schools facilitate different spiritual release. Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. What has been your evolution from when you started? And you can articulate any point, because you said you've been studying astrology for 20 years, but there's been different levels of how you've come into your spiritual practice, like becoming a healer, then becoming a medium. So how
I feel
please.
like I want to like have an empire where I'm teaching people everything that I know. And there's a bit of frustration that I'm like, it's not happening fast enough. But because I really do want to create a larger than life school where people know about the 12 steps and the 12 signs of the zodiac. And I started off with astrology, and that evolved to me studying tarot down the line. Tarot then led me to just going deeper into that eventually, and then I got to the plant medicine with with ayahuasca, and then I started doing sound healing because of the ayahuasca training. So I got my own crystal singing bowls. I was learning the Shipibo Icaros, or medicine songs, and then starting to buy bells and chimes and all that, then doing sound baths. And then I saw a woman giving breathwork classes at a breathwork retreat. So I wanted to learn how to do breathwork. So I got facilitator training to do
Are you
breathwork.
sure there's like Gemini prominently in your chart somewhere?
So Gemini's my south node.
Okay.
So for me to be curious, to try everything is one thing, but for me to then go to my Sagittarius North Node, I'm meant to be a teacher in this lifetime. So I'm frustrated because I'm like, I have had enough of being the student. Like, I'm ready to start teaching. I'm ready.
Yes, and you are. It seems like you just even though you're frustrated, it seems like you naturally are doing these things like step by step. And some things I have observed are coming quite quickly with the things that you put your mind to. But it does also seem with everything that you're doing that you're still like, I want to learn about this. So
there is a quality, like I'll never want to stop learning.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. But I'm also a Reiki Master, and I'm also, like I have my band, and I want my band to travel the world so I can do ayahuasca ceremonies around the world while teaching people this and that. And platform mediumship came to me last year, and then, I have all of the education. Oh, Vivian says you're a great teacher. That's really sweet, Vivian.
Vivian is wonderful. I agree with you, Vivian. So to have so many dreams and to be so active in so many aspects of yourself, do you find that you need tremendous energy? Do you find that you have to wake up clear to integrate all these parts of you? Like, do certain ones trickle away if you find you're not present? How are you working with all this?
To be a multi-dimensional individual is challenging, because if you don't use something, you can lose it. So my hope, my desire is to fold this all together. And I'm at the point now where I need to hire an assistant, because in order to keep all of this in line and going, like I'm the container that has the information, but I think I need help organizing when I'm launching the classes and when whatever else is happening and getting the word out there. Like, I'd like to ask the universe, like, I need some help lifting all of this because I've got the training. It's a lot. It's just throw me a bone here, like let's take this to the world.
Understandable. Yeah. Yeah. I do think the universe listens, and I do think that, I don't know when, but it seems like you're quicker than not, that you will get just that.
Thanks, Kelly.
Absolutely.
The nodes are moving into Leo Aquarius at the end of this month, I believe, or
Wow.
or early next month. And my chart ruler is my Saturn in Aquarius. So my fingers are crossed that somehow that activates this ability to bring my education and the knowledge that I have to the world.
Absolutely. So I have to get up to speed with that. So is it moving North Node into Aquarius?
Yeah, the North Node will be entering Aquarius. I believe that's June 30th, but I'd have to check the exact date.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're Pluto in Aquarius. That sounds like there's going to be some tremendous change. North Node Pluto energy. I hope it's good. It seems a little boisterous.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see some massive shifts in humanity, and then a lot of people are talking about alien disclosure, ETs.
I've been wondering when the next kind of step of that is going to be entertained more publicly, because there's so much stuff going on, but the government in different phases, they are entertaining disclosure, and they've been quite tight-lipped, which is strange because they were like rocking the boat for a couple of years, more than a couple of years. So yeah, I would guess it would be around Pisces, Aquarian times, where
Yeah,
it's just like, okay, we're here. It's the last chapter. Like, we'll entertain this phase. Well, sure, yes, this is real. This is what's going on. You'll hear about it now. So fascinating. Well, Danny, I'm definitely gonna have to have you back for part 2, because part 1, hey, we manifest in different ways. Part 1 was my computer glitching, like, so I will definitely take beautiful parts of this and then add with another sequence of Danny Santos, guest astrologist and healer, part 2.
aw. Well, I am tremendously honored, and I can't thank you enough for having me here today.
Absolutely. I always give the guests the last word. So, what would you like to say? Whether it's a favorite message, saying, something off the cuff,
Spirit,
anything.
Spirit is giving me a message.
Go for it.
So this is not just for everyone. This is for me and for everyone. And, so what Spirit is saying as a response to what we were just talking about is everything happens on its divine timing. You just have to be resilient enough to get there. And there's a plan. There is a plan that is greater than we can see. And it's important for us to do our best to show up in that plan. So best of luck, everyone. And also, I feel a little bit of peace that Spirit is just like stepping right in and wants to say that, like, you're right on time. You are right on time. If you're frustrated, that's because it's part of the process to have to wait and be patient through that frustration.
It's true. It's like the ginger you told me about. You asked for ginger. You know what's going to do now. Let the ginger work.
And when I was in Peru, ginger really spoke to me. It said, use me, and I didn't use it. And then I started using it this week. So I guess it was time.
It is time. My energy loves ginger, so I will just permeate the ginger over to you.
Yes.
That I would say that's been my number one healing herb throughout my life, ginger. But even before I knew what it did completely, it helped in so many areas. So I'm a big, big, big lover of ginger. So I really am. So thank you for bringing up ginger medicine as well. Danny, thank you so much. We'll have you on sooner than later for sure. Look at you manifesting things quickly. So may everybody with their dreams, may they come sooner or later. But Danny says, hang in there. Please be resilient. Everybody, we will see you soon. After tonight's show, there is going to be Fashionably Spiritual with Jennifer, Rose, and Nancy Muratalla. They are going to be going live in a couple of hours. And then we have our next week's shows. So with that said, please go with love and light. And don't forget to live. We will see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much, Danny.
Thank you.